And when I got there, it was like I've never been in school before. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking to you guys what you should expect once you move to Italy as an international student. And these are actually really based on my experiences, and I wanna tell it to you guys so that you will have an idea when you're moving to Italy on what to actually expect. So the first thing is, my advice is, when you're choosing a course, try and choose something it's like really related to your background, because when you move to Italy, especially from a different country outside of Europe, the studies there is really different, you guys. And this is based on my experience, because I was initially, when I went to Italy, I went to an engineering university, and when I got there, it was like I've never been in school before. Whew. The kind of mathematics you would meet, the kind of courses you would meet, I was not even prepared for it. And so I would really advise you to check into something you have a background in, or something you're passionate about, because once you get to Italy, the studies are really different from your country, and it might get a little bit tough for you. So really try and check on options or courses that you have a little background in, and you can be able to handle it once you get to Italy. Then the second thing is your finances, guys. Even as much as I talk about how you get scholarships in Italy, advice is, please also prepare your finances, because even during this process of you moving to Italy, it requires a lot of money, from your translation of documents, your making of the document for the scholarship, the money you probably need for the visa application, your flight ticket, and even once you get to Italy, before you settle down into your hostel, there is a lot of cost that is involved. And so don't just think that once you go to Italy you meet your scholarship and that is it. And also, because in terms of the payment, the scholarship doesn't pay you immediately. So you really need to have like some finances with you that is gonna support you for the time being once you get to Italy, and once before like the scholarship pays you the money it's supposed to pay you for your scholarship. Because the first installment, I know most scholarship usually pay around December, January, and then the second installment they pay towards the end of the academic year, which is usually around July. That is even some universities, that is even once you've submitted your credits for your first year. So really prepare yourself in terms of finances. Then the third thing is the language barrier. So you guys, in Italy is a country where people don't really speak other languages. So if it is possible for you to try and learn a little bit of Italian before you move to Italy, it will really help you, and it will really go a long way. This is because even in the university where they are dealing with international students, you find most people don't speak in English, and so it can get really hard, like moving around, doing your stuffs in Italy, especially at the beginning. So just prepare yourself, prepare your mind, and know that you're gonna meet a lot of language barrier. So really just prepare yourself for that, and if possible try and learn a little bit of Italian before you go to Italy. I'm telling you based on experience, especially if you don't know anyone in Italy, no one can help you translate. Italy, it's somewhere the language is such a big issue. So just have that in mind. Then the fourth thing also, please, when you are doing your applications, just know about deadlines. Everything in most of these countries is all about deadlines. So please just make sure you're not rushing into these things, and make sure you have really prepared yourself in advance and done your applications early on, so that when you're moving to the next process, it is easier for you. Because during these applications, there are stages in these applications, and each stage has its deadline. So just make sure that you know when the deadline for maybe the first application is, when the deadline for this other process is, just for you not to be rushing and meeting up with deadlines, and you end up losing maybe an opportunity, or you end up even losing money. So just be sure about that. And also, when you go to Italy, make sure you have the right kind of documents. They are translated, because in Italy, everything, especially if it's foreign, it has to be translated and legalized. Make sure you have all that. Please just make sure you're reading all the instructions given and everything that is needed during these applications, because you might miss out on, so especially the scholarship, you will miss out on the scholarship because of just a very little mistake, or maybe you've passed the deadline. So just make sure all the documents you're presenting are well translated, well written, and submit them in or before the deadline. Then another thing is, expect to study extra harder when you move to Italy. This is actually related to the first point I was saying, because the studies in Italy, especially when you're moving from a different country, the studies can be a little bit difficult and tough, and it will need you to like study a bit harder in order for you to catch up with, let's say, maybe European students or probably Italians who already have a basis of these things from probably their high school, because Italians have a background of whatever they will be studying, so they are not really struggling as much as you are for you as an international student. For me, I remember I had to like study extra hard, because there are so many things I met that were new to me and I didn't really know them. So in order for me to pass my exams and maintain my scholarship, I had to like really study hard. And that is what I will advise you, that expect that when you go to Italy, you are not gonna be relaxing and sleeping, especially if you're on scholarship and you need to maintain your scholarship. Just know that you need to study extra hard in order for you to pass your exams in time, and also to be able to maintain your scholarship. And then another thing also, don't expect to go there and make money or be rich as a student there. This is because Italy is not the country where you are going to get a job mostly as an student, especially as an international student who cannot even speak the Italian language. So just know, and I've said before, that the Italian educational system doesn't even let you look outside like the school. That is because you have lectures throughout, you have exams in between the semesters. They call them partial exams if you would like to do them. So it's like you're reading throughout. And again, as I had said, you need to even study harder to be able to pass your exams. So you find that a course, maybe one course, is like having so much that you need to study, and you need to be studying throughout, and probably in a semester you have like 4, 3, or even sometimes 5 courses. So you see, it's like really hard to juggle as a student, studying full-time and working as well. So yeah, don't expect that when you go to Italy you're gonna be making money as a student. Guys, is expect culture shocks, and you're gonna be homesick. When I tell you that, especially when you're moving to a country where you know no one, you don't know their culture, you speak a different language, obviously everything is gonna be so new to you, and sometimes it can be very depressing. So just have that in mind, that is especially at the beginning, before you even make friends, you can be able to have someone you can trust. It's gonna be a bit hard before you can adjust into the system. So just know that you'll be met up with so many culture shocks, and also you feel lonely and homesick most of the time. But that doesn't mean that you should give up or head back home. That is more of like a learning curve for you to try and learn much about the Italians or their culture, and yeah, try and fit in, not just fit in, but try and like maybe adapt or adjust to the system. But I will tell you, with time it gets easier, because you make friends, you also tend to learn the language, you learn the culture, and so with time it does get easier. Sure, the last point is, I would say, is that expect that you meet people from different kind of backgrounds. So this one is very interesting, because this is one thing about traveling, is that you get to meet so many different people from different countries, and these can be a positive and sometimes a negative thing, because especially probably as students, most of the time you tend to find that you are living together. So sometimes you might be living with somebody who is of a different background and a different way of living, and so sometimes it's not really comfortable, or it's not really aligned to your own kind of living or your way of life. So expect that you meet people from different places. Expect to meet people who, it's like, for example, they are going out for the first time, they are on their own, they are also learning things for the first time. Expect to be with people who are not so tidy enough. If you are living, for example, in a hostel or in a house with people, and this is really not in a bad way, but these are all based on my experiences. And yeah, expect people who are noisy, expect people who live, work, all kinds of ways. So yeah, I think once you get there, you'll be able to see all these things that I'm saying. But yeah, and then another thing also I wanted to say is that also when you're in Italy, don't try and keep up with everyone, because sometimes some people are from wealthy backgrounds, or people like Italians, whom that is their country. They know everything about their country, they have a different way of living, and you who is coming from a different country, you come and you want to keep up with everything these people are doing. And do not really compare yourself, because lives are different, and go according to your means. For example, like in Italy, you find Italians like going out and enjoying themselves too much. So for example, you find they travel probably every weekend, they're maybe going to visit their friends, their families, and then you find they go for aperitivos all the time. So for you, don't try and keep up with that. Maybe your finances are not even letting you travel every time or go out and enjoy yourself every time. So you can do it once in a while, and or see how your finances are, and if they can enable you, then you can do it. But yeah, just live according to your means, know who you are, and don't really try to please anyone or go above your means. So that is my advice, and this marks the end of this video. I hope these tips were helpful, just for you to know the things you should expect when you are moving to Italy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Bye guys.